So I was at PetSmart the other day getting a little hide for Mr. Edward over here, but I found this little nano 3.5 gallon aquarium that you're supposed to put a plant on top of. So I went ahead and bought it because it was normally $40, then they brought it down to 20, and then it was on the rack for half off. So I got this bad boy right here for 10 bucks. Now, I bought a bunch of plants on eBay for it. I'm gonna start scrolling those right now. I spent $88 just on plants for this. So make sure you like this video and hit that subscribe button down below because I'm spending way too much money on these. I think we're gonna head over to the fish store and get some more rocks so we can make this thing look really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead, switch all over to the fish store, and I'll see you at Bob's. Didn't get to make it to Bob's the other day, so we are here now. We're gonna go and see if we can find maybe some cool spiderwood or some cool rocks for the new tank. Okay guys, this is freaking cool. It's like a little tree. Think about putting moss on that and having it grow, but it's 25 bucks. I don't know if I can do it. There's a lot more I'm gonna look at though, so I'll let you know what I decide. Okay, so I'm back home. I've taken the tank out of its packaging. As you can see right here, it's actually a really cool little design. We have the fluval stratum. We have some old wood that I had in a different tank ready to go. And this is the substrate for this top little plant section. You put this substrate in here and then you have a plant that normally goes outside the water up here and it kind of covers the whole top and it makes it look really nice. So that's what that is. And I did go ahead and buy the really expensive one, but it is really cool. I think it's called dragon wood. Yeah, it's called Dragonwood. It's a little too big though. As you can see, it'll look really nice from that kind of position, but it's a little too big because you only have this section right here to fit stuff in. So I'm gonna have to trim this a little bit, but that's not a big deal. And it is almost time to start setting this up, except I have to wait for the plants. So I will fast forward a couple days when we get some plants. At this point, I started trimming some of the branches on the plant with wire cutters, but I found out that wasn't enough, so I ended up using a Dremel to file down some of the bigger parts of the plant, as you can see here. After a lot of trial and error and test fitting, I made it to the perfect size so it fits, as you can see right there. And before I started scaping this little tank, I wanted to test the pump, and as you can see it worked, just so that if it didn't work, I wouldn't be screwed because there's so much stuff in the tank already. It was finally a few days later and we had the plants, so it was time to start scaping. First thing I did was adding the fluval stratum, which is a great substrate for planted aquariums. I ended up putting a little too much, but I just left it that way. I think it ended up being better in the long run just for the plant's health and all that kind of stuff. So I started separating it out to kind of whatever slope I wanted. And a lot of plants, you want the slope to go from the back down to the front. It makes it more natural, so that's what I'm doing here. Now it's time to take the wood out of the water that had been soaking in, which you should do if you buy wood or driftwood or anything like that for a tank. You should soak it in a vat of water to get some of the tannins and anything else out of it, and also so it gets waterlogged so it's not floating to the top every time. After confirming it still fit with the new substrate, I went ahead and started planting. I started by attaching the moss to the tree looking piece of wood we found. And to do this, I thought I was going to have to use rubber bands to hold the moss on, but it ended up being sturdy enough just by pushing it between the limbs of the little miniature tree. And there's the finished product. I think it actually turned out really well, especially for being the first time of me doing anything like this at all. It actually looks kind of like a little tree underwater. After this, I started using a similar process to attach moss to the other pieces of wood I had, but this time using rubber bands. And then I went on to plant the rest of the tank, but that took a long time, so I'm not going to bore you with that. It looks pretty good. We're gonna try to get some water in it. I'm gonna put some from one of the fish tanks so it has a good start. Then we'll turn it on and see how it looks. Boom, it is the next day and the water is cleared up. it's looking pretty good. I think the curvature of the glass kind of makes it look not quite as good as I wanted to, but I'm okay with it. I think it looks decent. We have 2 more things to do. First of all, as you can see, there's no plant in the top. We got to get the plant for the top, which I will do in just 1 second. And also, we have 1 more plant for inside coming in the mail today. I'm going to fast forward to when we get those plants, and then I'll put them in there, and we'll see the final product. It is a couple hours later, and we officially have all our plants. This caladium is going to go in the top section. That's some extra plants from yesterday. And then this right here, I don't remember what it's called. I'll put it on the screen, though. It's like this red kind of plant. I think it's super cool. I'm going to try to kind of fill in the gaps on the side and the back, and then I'm just gonna snap my fingers and it'll be done. 3, 2, 1. I think it actually looks really cool. Plant is planted up there. Obviously took all the soil out so it wouldn't like contaminate the water or whatever. This is looking pretty good. Here's those new plants, the red ones. I think those look cool as well. Hopefully they're kind of grow in and cover up this top section that doesn't have anything. And we are going to get cherry shrimp for this tank eventually. Not in this video. I gotta let the tank cycle so that they will be okay to go in here and won't die right away. But they should have a wonderful life in there. Look at all those plants. That is a heavily planted 3.5 gallon aquarium. I am loving it. I hope you enjoyed watching me build this little planted mini aquarium for some cherry shrimp. And I'll give you one last look at it. I think it looks really cool. One of the coolest things I've done on this channel for sure. So make sure you like this video. I spent like $100 on just plants for this video. So make sure you give it a like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I appreciate you guys. I will see you next time, hopefully really soon. Hope you have a great day. Peace.